Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at open source licensing itself. Let's get started. In our previous lesson, we discussed how open source projects can be forked to create those new parallel projects and that the license of the original project must be examined. This license provides the rules and guidelines for how the work may be used, permitting others to contribute without first seeking permission. And so here I have included 3 different types of licenses. As we work from left to right, our licenses become more restrictive. So over here in the public domain, little to no restrictions, permissive, some restrictions. And then copyleft is more restrictive. So first we have the public domain. The Creative Commons 1.0 Universal Public Domain Declaration is a declaration that all works are in the public domain. If you use the CC 1.0 universal license for your work, anyone can do anything they want with it. Zero restrictions whatsoever. An excerpt of this license. The person who associated a work with this deed has dedicated the work to be public domain by waiving all of his or her rights to the work worldwide under copyright law, including all related and neighboring rights to the extent allowed by law. Long story short, you can copy, modify, distribute, and perform the work even for commercial purposes without permission. The public domain is free for use for any reason, so something with a few more restrictions, but still in the permissive zone or gradient are the BSD licenses. BSD licenses typically contain 4 or fewer of the following clauses I've included here. The first clause simply says that redistributions of source code must retain the above copyright notice, this list of conditions and the following disclaimer. The second clause, redistributions in binary form must reproduce the above copyright notice, this list of conditions and the following disclaimer, and the documentation and/or other materials provided by the distribution. So source code and binary. The third clause, all advertising materials mentioning features or use of this software must display the following acknowledgement. This product includes software developed by blank. Insert your organization or name here. So this is something called an attribution or attributed work. And then the fourth clause, neither the name of the organization nor the names of the contributors may be used to endorse or promote products derived from this software without specific prior written permission. So if I write some software and I license it under one of the BSD licenses, and then someone takes that project and forks it, they cannot go back and say, this software is endorsed by someone, or use me to promote the products derived. So still relatively permissive, but a few clauses to watch out for next. We have a copyleft example. This is the GPL or the GNU General Public License. It is a widely used copyleft software license. Being a copyleft license, derivative work may only be distributed under the same license terms. So if you think of software forking and branching from left to right, the forks that are created towards the right copy their license from the left. Hence the name copyleft. This license permits commercial use, modification, distribution, and restricts sublicensing and must include the original work as well as the state of changes, so the original source code and any changes that you made to it, while maintaining the same license as the parent project. So those are 3 examples of open source licenses. I've included a little kind of matrix or graph here. The MIT license is in the permissive area, or zone, and it's highly popular. I've even gone so far as to add a little inbound compatibility charts. So for instance, you can go from public domain to the MIT license. You can go from an MIT license to a BSD to an Apache. So, and what I mean by this is you can take something from the Creative Commons or the public domain, fork it, and license it under MIT. You can fork something from MIT and license it under BSD 3 clause. You can take something BSD 3 clause and fork it and license it under Apache 2.0. so on and so forth. Licenses are a pretty dry subject, and many Linux users don't pay particular attention to the licensing of the open source software that they are using. But it is something you should be aware of and have some sort of conceptual level of understanding around, which is something you now do. This lesson is now complete. Please subscribe, like, share and comment on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.